He was born Muhammad Kiggundu Musoke on February 16, 1966 to the late Haj Mwalimu Musoke Tamale and Hajat Udaya Nabuloto. With an education background from Koran Primary School, Kiggundu Musoke also studied at Kauku Church of Uganda Primary School, City High School, Kampala High School and Chibuli Secondary School. Kiggundu Musoke attained a Bachelor of Arts Education degree from the University of Constantine, Iyeke in Algeria, a Master's in Religious Education at Makerere University, a Certificate in Religious Pluralism from the University of California, Santa Barbara, a Certificate in Leadership and Management of Institutions of Higher Learning from the University of Tampere, Finland, and a PhD in Religion from Makerere University. You are watching People and Power right here on NBS Television. On Twitter, the hashtag is NBS People and Power. Welcome back. Dr. Muhammad Kiggundu had a giant shoes to fill in Tanga Odoye as his predecessor. He had an uphill to climb, but which he climbed to the top with distinction. He returns to this second segment, and of course I'll ask, what has been the toughest spell that you had to face or to deal with while at the helm of MUASA?
While at the helm, I think I should say there have been two tough times for me. The toughest time was when we had the last strike, because I personally wasn't for it, because I had known it would bring more distractions to our progress. Because I had come in with an administration that was basically about dialoguing. And then because our colleagues finally, we had to say we have to strike, that is what we call collective responsibility. It wasn't easy. Because it came at a time we had negotiated to have the salaries raised. And the government had listened, and the president had done so. And at the same time, inside, the council had agreed that they had to pay us the incentive. And incentive had actually dragged on for so many months without it. So it became a tough time for me for one reason, that you had to look at all angles. Here was council, here was government, here was the constituency that I represent. So what do? The strike has been called. You're looking at it as something that is going to be detrimental, because out of my experience, someone who wants, because those you lead, you never blame them. For me, I want this, yeah. But you as a leader, you should have the vision and see the best line you got to take. So it was tough. So here we get closed. Finally, the university gets closed. And I'm on the helm. The word of the chair is very important, very vital. But again, the good thing is that I had learned from the two previous administration that I had done. Professor Gaston Nwagaba was not an easy man, very tough. Dr. Tanga was so tough. These were hard-talking guys, hard-talkers. And I had learned from them because I was always calm. Of course, Dr. T used to call me, Muhammad, this is the coolant. I could cool up all this. Boyfriend, Dr. Tanga, could call me that. So that coolant I had to use. Now you can imagine the university is closed. Government is saying the teachers or the university lecturers are not actually appreciating. And then the staff are saying, no, we need to have this money, the incentive of ours.
And then there's even the students who you're not even mentioning, who could also fuel something of their own.
That's true. That's true. But the students are very listening on our side, because it's us, the teachers and our students, who are always in those lecture theaters. Because we are in those, whether they are dilapidated or modernized, it's together the student and the what? And the lecturer. So always we listen to one another. So I had to listen to the group that I lead. Those are the teachers, the lecturers, and the government that side, and council here. You can see in the middle there. And the entire world and the country. Because Makerere is a premier institution, it's a worldwide issue. It doesn't touch only Makerere. All the grants, all the donors' monies were blocked and everything. They could not come in, but the strike is there. So what do? So it was tough for me, because I had to take a very tough decision, that I had to look at the future of the institution, the future of the students, the future of the Ugandans. So we had to engage. And in the engagement, nothing would come our way. But finally, things had to be sorted out in a way that we have to meet in the assembly. So we have to take time. There was nothing, up to 2 months, and then we had to meet in the assembly. In that assembly, it wasn't so easy, but I had to bring all the brains together. Remember, that assembly has all it takes, because it's a powerhouse. You have the medics, you have the architects, you have the teachers for education, you have psychologists, you have
agriculturalists,
everything.
Everyone.
Bring it there, and these are the guys you are leading. But I had to make a decision.
I'm sorry to cut you short, but have you ever felt at one point that you failed MUASA?
Never.
On anything?
Never. For a reason that I'm focused, and I've grown through the ranks, and I've known what we want. So the right way that you can talk with this government is to sit down with them. That I learned. Because there have been so many strikes, because you were saying we're characterized by strikes. So when we sat down and we talked, that's the only way we could push. Remember, this is a government, a resistance government. If you resist with a resistor, that is trouble. So I've never felt most. Actually, my administration has delivered the best. One, we brought the salary enhancement, because I came into office when a professor was earning 2.4. I'm leaving office when a professor is earning 9 million. When there's a difference, and we're taking them, it is my construction under symbiosis relation that the professor is going to get 15. But again, we shall need even more, but that I had to construct. Number 2, the health insurance scheme that has never worked at the institution, that big ivory tower, is starting in September. It was me, my administration. Number 3, we had to reinstate under my administration the publishing house. So Makerere now, you see us number 2, number 3. But now with the reinstatement of the publishing house, our people are going to publish so much inside with lesser costs. So the publishing house is back. The last one, because I had a 4-item agenda, was the working conditions. I've not been able to fully, but we managed to have the main hall with the help of the Professor Bazeyo for the College of Health Science, and the DVC then, Professor Nawangwe, and then we had to refurbish that main hall. And again, we were still with the administration, Professor Dombo, talking about this money from the World Bank, and then these structures you are seeing they are going to actually enhance on the working conditions and the students' conditions in working in health environments. I've not at all. In any case, they have gotten the best package in my leadership, because I intended to do it. I intended to do that. These are dynamics which are emotions. These are emotional issues. And you can never allow emotions overtake what we call reasoning for proper benefit. You've got to make a compromise for a larger goal.
Oftentimes you, the scholars, come out and you actually criticize government. They haven't done this, they haven't done that, they should do this or do that, or according to research, or according to history. I don't know, history is repeating itself, or it's not, you always criticizing. So there's usually a big gap between you, the scholars, and even the policymakers.
Yeah, this is why I've been very precise that we need to create synergies. Because if a research, the findings are tabled, and you're in a team, the policymakers are right there, and the executive or the leadership of the government are there, and then you dialogue and you compare notes, things can work out. But that disconnect you are saying is that a scholar will come out and the findings are tabled, declared at a table in a hotel. It will stay there if there is no will for the policymakers to come and sit with those who implement the policies, the government. This is the problem.
So as we go to a short break,
yes,
shouldn't you scholars, or even you in particular, be probably joining politics?
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
No, I don't want to join politics for one reason. If I want to join politics, that I'll get lost completely. And because many people, I'm not saying I don't blame those who join, but it's a personal issue. Because if you went to politics and you started competing, all your brains would only be thinking about that position that you are going to take. This is what I've observed. And by the end of the day, you cease to be yourself. What we need is creating synergies. Scholars are here, policymakers are there in parliament, and then the government are here. We make our findings, we table them. What matters is to correct the society, to do good for the people.
Right now you're chairman of MUASA.
Yes.
What else do you aspire to, where you feel that if I was in this position, my knowledge would best be used?
No, I think I should say, candidly and very open, that I'm a material human being to serve in many positions right now, I should say. And I wouldn't want to limit myself and say if I were here, because no, what is that which is so huge that we cannot talk about and do? It's okay, I'm a simple man with a simple profile, and I'll be ready to serve anywhere, but I'm still identifying where I'll be. But most importantly, I'll be back in the lecture theaters because I love my job. And from there, I can do any service that is given to me, but I'll be back in the lecture theaters.
You are still watching People and Power. We're going to take another short break and return with religious scholar, also chairman MUASA, Dr. Mohammed Kiggundu.